Hey, what's going on, everybody? So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett. Very happy to have this. In fact, this was a gift from one of my subscribers, and I just want to thank you again. And I did an unboxing video for this, and well, he sent me 3 figures, but I did an unboxing video, and I'm going to include a link in the description below for that video, so feel free to check that out. But as you can see, this one comes on this beautiful card back, the classic Kenner logo. Got a great looking picture of Boba Fett there. Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. You got the 40th anniversary of Empire logo up there. And through the bubble, you can see Boba Fett. Comes with 2 blasters. You got an EE3, and this one is the Sacros K11 disintegrator pistol. So I guess that scene in Empire when Vader was talking to the bounty hunters when he said, "No disintegrations." I guess that's what he was talking about. And on the back of the card, you got some other figures from this wave. You got a short blurb in 4 different languages, barcode, and a whole bunch of stuff that no one ever reads. I'm going to pop Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett open. Let's take a look at him. All right, so I got Empire Boba open, and I've also got the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett here too, just to do some comparisons to in a second. But I'm going to move him out of the way, and we'll start with Empire Boba first. And let's just start at the head and work our way down. This helmet, I think, is dang near perfect right out of the package. I mean, this is a Boba Fett helmet right here. There's no fix required. It's nice and flared out at the bottom, you know, nice and wide. And I think the paint looks pretty good. You know, they actually painted the ding. This yellow here is nicely done. This looks pretty good. Got a nice, kind of brownish red here. Very nice. Got some scratches and some dings. You got this little sculpted little, I don't know what that is, some kind of vent maybe that we see on every single Mandalorian helmet. It looks good. Yeah, that's a Boba Fett helmet right there. Love the nice deep black on the visor. So the rangefinder on this one is fixed. It does not articulate at all, but that's okay. I mean, I don't think I've put this rangefinder down since I've gotten this one. It stays up all the time, so I'm okay with it being fixed. Yeah, that's not a big deal for me. But yeah, I think overall, it's a really nice helmet. And moving on to the chest armor, I think this looks really nice. That is well done. So glad they painted this right here because it is completely here. They just kind of left that out on the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. So glad to see that they painted that red. All the scratches look pretty good. This is nicely done. And there's a look at the jetpack. Here, I'll grab Return of the Jedi Boba. I am about 100% convinced that it is the same sculpt with the exception of these will rotate on this one. And of course the rocket is removable on this one. This one here, it's like you can twist them, but I think it's just the rubber, twisting. I don't think it's on an actual hinge, or at least it doesn't feel like it. I think it's just, the rubber flexing. But you got some nice paint down here, a little bit of paint there. This looks really good there. The weathering, I think, could have been done a little better. I mean, it's like somebody took a little Sharpie and just went boop, boop, boop. It's all right. Well, it's on the back, so you'll never see, you won't see this that often, but I kind of wish it was a little more scratch than just splotch, 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 right? That's what the bottom looks like. And the rocket, my rocket's a little bit warped. It's okay. I might could heat that up and just kind of, bend that back a little bit. But the sculpt is nice. Got a little bit of white stripe there. That's what the top looks like. You got some doodads sticking up there and there. Yeah, kind of like that. And the jetpack is removable. It is held on just by a single peg, but you also have these little niblets here that will engage there and there. So when it's on its back, it's a single round peg, but those two, like I said, they sort of hook in right there, so it cannot rotate. So that's a big plus. And we'll just take the jetpack off again, and that's what its back looks like. Surprisingly clean, with the exception of a little bit of scratches there. Cloth cape, it's held on just right there. It's pretty, crunched being in the package. It's not bad. Got some nice frillies there. You'll probably be finding these things all over the place. But the stripe going through it, I think looks fine. That's a pretty cool looking cape. And since we're back here, that's what the back of the belt looks like, this little sash thing going around. Nice paint on these buckles. You've got a nice texture there. There's his holster. Got the Wookiee braids hanging down. Pouches in front. That's what the front of the belt looks like. It's just a, just a brown belt with some, just some little detail here and there. It's fine. And that's the front of the sash. Got some scratches on his codpiece. That must have hurt, or it may have protected him. I don't know. And let's move on to arms. So this shoulder pad looks really nice. I mean, the Mythosaur symbol looks fantastic. That's very, very cleanly done. Nice wrinkles. I am loving the paint on this gauntlet. That looks really good. Red, black, silver, black. I mean, that is just really, really nice. You got some more stuff going on back here that looks great. I mean, look at that. That looks really, really good. And on the inside, you just got green and some scuffs here and there. That's a good looking gauntlet. And that's what the glove looks like. You got a little bit of like a pad on the back, and just a gray glove. And on the other side, you got a ding there, some more wrinkles. Got a hose right there that is really not attached to anything. And then the right gauntlet, you got some paint going on there. That looks pretty cool right there. I have no idea what that is, but it looks good. And that side's just green with some scratches here and there. And then legs, like I mentioned, you got some pouches up here, pouches here. The knee pads are scratched up a little bit. There's his little knee darts. Got some tools in there. Now, it's a stark difference between his lower leg and his upper leg as far as the dirtiness. Kind of wish they would have kept the same sheen, like kept it dirty, kept it like this up here. But it's okay. But you got some really nice wrinkles in here, some more tools. And that's what the back of the legs looks like. Just, very clean. And then his boots, you got some nice silver paint on the tips and got some sculpt on top. So top to bottom, I think this is a really good looking Boba Fett. And I think I'll stick the jetpack back on. All right, so let's take a look at articulation on this Boba Fett. So the head can turn side to side. Boy, this thing is tight. Wow. You've got a little bit of tilt. You've got some pretty good down, and you've got some okay up, and maybe just a hint of forward and back at the neck as well. So the arms, this shoulder pad stops suddenly. This shoulder pad on this right side will go all the way into the chest armor. So that's what you got. That's what you got on this one. I cannot get that thing to go in, and I'm afraid I'm going to break it if I try to push too hard. But it stops. The arms can rotate all the way around. You've got a single jointed elbow that does not even get anywhere near 90. I mean, that's all you got. And it's the same on the left hand as well. But going back to the right hand, you have a swivel up here that will turn, okay? Then you have a swivel at the elbow. The gauntlet will swivel independently, and the wrist will also swivel. On the left hand, this kind of looks like it should be a swivel, but it does not. It swivels at the elbow, the gauntlet will swivel, and the wrist will swivel. And both hands are hinged side to side. There's the right, and there's the left. You've got a swivel at the waist. You've got some pretty good crunch, and some pretty good back. And you've got some okay side-to-side tilt as well. So as far as legs up, this pouch runs into this pouch, and it just won't go. These are pretty rigid right here. They do not flex. I mean, you could manually kind of bend it up a little bit, but it just, hang on. Yeah, not really. These things are pretty stiff. Yeah, but you do have an upper thigh swivel. The legs go out that far, and the legs don't go back much at all either. The back of the thigh hits his butt sculpt. You've got double jointed knees that get up to there. Feet go down that far. They don't go up at all, and you've got some swivel at the ankle. And as far as comparing these two, I'm considering doing a detailed comparison video. I know lots of people have already done them, but I think I will probably do one. So if that's something that you'd like to see, please comment below. So now let's move on to accessories. So there is the Sacros K11 disintegrator pistol. It's pretty basic. I mean, it's just like a brownish, kind of rusty color. Got a little bit of detail there on the grip. Got some silver on the back there and the barrel. Yeah, there's not much to it. I tried to find a really good picture of this thing. I couldn't really find one except, like, I don't know, replicas that people have made. But that's what we got. And there's a close-up of the EE3. So I did find a picture of a replica that someone had built. Here, let me move this out of the way. So I think they did a pretty good job. I mean, it said it was screen accurate. So if you bring this one back up, I think they, this is pretty good. I think all this stuff in here looks pretty good. The white grip, maybe could have dirtied that up a little bit. Kind of wish they would have made the tip of the barrel silver, like it's been from the heat. But I think overall it's a pretty cool sculpt. This is pretty accurate right here. It's almost like a big old revolver with a stock mounted on the grip, and then you got a little scope up here, and that's what the other side looks like, and just more of the same. Yeah, it's a pretty cool weapon. All right, so let's see how Boba holds these. So these fingers are really tight. Yeah, okay. That goes in pretty well. The trigger finger makes it to the trigger guard. Doesn't quite go through, but it's there. And I think he holds that pretty well with one hand. It's not going to fall out. Now, having a horizontal hinge, you can't have him low, firing from the hip, tipping the blaster up. It just ain't going to work. Firing straight out, I mean, that's okay. Yeah. All right, so he holds that pretty well. And they actually gave him a trigger finger on the left hand as well. Let's see how it goes in on the left. Okay, a little easier. Same deal, trigger finger makes it to the trigger guard, doesn't quite go through. But once again, I mean, it's not going to fall out. And he holds that pretty well in his left hand. That's not a bad look. All right, so let's see how this holster works. Okay, the jet is in the way. Okay. Nope. There. All right, that goes in, and the barrel, tip of the barrel, sticks out a little bit. And once it's in, it's not going to fall out, and I think that looks pretty good holstered. All right, so next let's take a look at the EE3, and just like the other one, you kind of have to start backwards and drop it in there, and then rotate it around to where his thumb goes through, and then you can sort of fudge it to where the trigger finger is somewhat close to the trigger. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, it doesn't quite make it, but he does hold that well. It's not going to fall out. And that looks very silly in one hand. I don't think I've ever seen Boba Fett hold his EE3 with just one hand. And as far as two hands, the elbows are not that great on this Boba Fett. I mean, that does not look bad from the side. From the front, it's not terrible, but I mean, that's it for the elbow. That's as far as you get. This swivel helps a little bit. The wrist swivel helps a little bit. It's too bad this hinge here isn't vertical. It's horizontal, so that is sort of impeding some good two-handed poses. I mean, you can get it low like that. It's not terrible. From the front, I don't know. It could be better, and that's what that side looks like. Yeah, it's not like horrible, but the elbows, I really wish the elbows were like the other Boba Fett, which, you can do that, which is beautiful. And I kind of slid the hand down a little bit. It's still not terrible, but again, the elbows you just don't have quite as good of range of motion as the other Boba Fett. But just having it down low like this, I think that's a pretty good look right there for posing, just sort of a relaxed stance. Yeah, I kind of like that. But yeah, sadly, aiming down the sight like this one, it's just not going to happen with the Empire one. And as far as scale, there he is on the shelf. So he's about the same height as Han. He's taller than 4-LOM and definitely taller than Zuckuss. He may be a hair taller than the TIE Fighter pilot, and that's what he looks like with Chewie. So yeah, he's a good size. But I think he looks pretty good on the shelf, especially with that sort of just relaxed stance. Yeah, I like that. And then moving on down, I've got Return of the Jedi Boba like that. And I kept the card nice. Beautiful card. So overall, I'm still super happy to have this guy. It may not have the best articulation in the arms. These kind of get in the way. You can't quite get the two-handed aiming poses as the other one. But man, that's a good looking Boba Fett just to have on the shelf, with the other bounty hunters or next to Han or whatever. It really is a nice looking figure. I think they did a great job on the paint, on this ding. All this in here looks great, especially that. I mean, that is super clean right there. That looks good. That looks good. The green jetpack, just like Empire. The cloth tan cape, very similar to what we saw in Empire. I think they did a nice job with that. Love the gauntlets. I mean, the paint is so good. They even painted all these little dots in there. That looks good. That looks good. This back here, I mean, it's nicely done. This pistol is pretty cool. The knees look good. I kind of wish this dirtiness was up here, but it's all right. But down here, it looks great. All these little tools are nicely painted. Yeah, I think overall, it's a solid figure, and I'm so happy to have it. But please share your thoughts below. I would love to hear from you guys, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this Boba Fett. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Is it okay? Please comment below. And if you like videos on Star Wars The Black Series, please consider dropping a like on this video and subscribing to the channel, and be sure and turn on notifications. I'm always posting something, and I would certainly appreciate it. And I just thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.